Yep.
Yep.
Good morning. Welcome to the November 3rd, 2022 meeting for the Dixon County Commission. Would you please stand and join in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have one item to add to the agenda, and that is a proclamation supporting Operation Green Light for veterans. And I would move that we approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second it.
We have the motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The consent agenda includes the minutes of the October 27th meeting, also expenditures of $443,108.34, the security payment of $3,675, abatements of $1,989.82, utilities of $16,524.74, and a special hand check of $150.
I move to approve the consent agenda. Second.
We have the motion and the second for approval of the consent agenda. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Commission comments, Ron.
I just want to say a few things for the producers out there that are harvesting. It looks like they're getting along pretty good, and we sure appreciate their hard work.
Okay. Craig.
Yeah, I'll be going down to Lynn County tomorrow for the roving center for Andre Purvis. It's District 6, I believe. That's the U.S. district. It's at 2:00. We will be having a regional counting meeting here tomorrow, or sorry, Monday night. And then the 3rd of November, I'll be going on that same day, I'll be going with the SCF for their annual tour of their.
Okay. Earlier this morning, Sheriff Jerry Davis was in here and gave us an update as far as his department and told us about some of the arrests and some of the situations where some crimes have been solved or there's an arrest had followed and property recovered. Also, we do have a road tour that the commission is going to be taking along with staff. We're going to go ahead and view some of the county facilities throughout the county and some roads and so on. That's all I have. Are there any public comments or questions at this time? I don't believe we have any public comments, and so we're going to go ahead and move on to our report of county officers. First, we have our county administrator, Brad. Or do you want?
I'll defer to Janelle.
Janelle, you'll handle that? Okay.
So bids went out for First Road Bridge and they are going out today. And we have a bid opening set for December the 6th. And the engineer is anticipating that we will have quite a few vendors interested in this. So that is a good thing. And then we also had a radiator repaired on the CERT van that we use for disaster. Yes.
Yeah, will Clay County be down to view?
Yes, Clay County will be invited to that so they can see because of their share. It's a 72-28 split on that. So they'll be
Bobby
down.
said he would come down.
Okay.
The superintendent.
I'm assuming we invited him, but since they're paying for part of it.
And if you remember, the share that
Right.
we will receive from KDOT is 600 and I believe it's 630 or 624, pardon me, 624,000. They will not give us any more money for that. So counties will make up the difference on that. So when we're estimating, almost 1.5 million on that bridge. So, but at least that's a good thing. So we had a radiator that was repaired on the CERT van that we use for disasters, the flu clinics and stuff. The mechanics there at the highway department took care of that. The highway department is on 400 east of Key Road, 400 Avenue east of Key for the bridge repair. And that's one of the bridges that we'll be taking a look at. So they're anticipating that'll take 3 to 4 weeks to complete.
Is it a repair or rebuild?
I'm sorry.
Replace.
Replace.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I wrote that wrong. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
They're still hauling gravel. The highway department is doing that. And they are blading out at the landfill. We talked about that in the work session, but they're still blading on that. EMS should finish up with the school vaccines tomorrow. I think Solomon was the last school for that. So that's a good thing. Our emergency manager, Chancey Smith, has set up a safety and security training for district court staff on November 10th, so they will be closed in the afternoon for that. They'll go through something similar to what we talked about at our staff development day. Talk about some best practices, things like that. We will have Operation Greenlight, which you've got the proclamation for today, and that will be the week of November 7th through the 13th, and that's in honor of our veterans. And this is a national initiative that NACO has been promoting in KAC as well. So, and then Marcus Rothschild will be starting as the new finance director for the county on December the 28th. And then upcoming things, you know, you talked about the tour this afternoon. We have the regional county meeting on November 7th, and then the North Central Regional Planning annual banquet on November the 10th. I think that's their 50th. Yes.
What kind of a turnout we expecting for Monday night?
Right now, we have RSVs for 25. So, and every county is sending at least someone.
Okay.
So that's good.
The courthouse will be green that night.
And the courthouse will be clean. So
I know Bruce said he'd be here, so.
yes, Bruce will be here too. So that'll be good. And that's what you got from me.
Okay, thank you, Doug.
I don't have anything other than what I've already reported.
Okay. And I don't know, Craig had stepped out when
Yeah.
we mentioned that. So on the tax sale,
We're still awaiting the reports from the title company. Now we have, instead of two separate ones, there's one title company. And so we're waiting for those reports to come in, and as soon as they do, we'll move forward with the tax sale as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Thank you.
thank you. And we also have an update and report from our county election officer, our clerk, Jeannie Livingston. If you'd give us that info now.
Okay, we have had 762 walk-in voters. And last year, the total amount of voters was, walk-in voters was 810. So we will probably exceed that. And then we have mailed out 574 mail ballot, advance ballots. Last year we had 560 total, so we've exceeded that amount. And we had started out with one of the new express vote machines. We were having people that wanted to use them, so we got a second one out, and we've had 172 people vote on that, new express votes. So they're going over. We've had a lot of real positive comments about them, and people are really liking them. So then at the last day for walk-in voting is Monday, November 7th at noon. And then, of course, the election is November 8th, and the polls will open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So,
No, the ones that send in the mail-in ballots, I know sometimes there's a place you're supposed to sign your name, but when you go to vote at a polling site, you sign your name and give them that information, but that's confidential and secure, and it's on the outside of the envelope. But do people remember to sign the outside, or do you
the
have?
majority of them.
Okay,
We do have a few that don't.
so people need to
Remember to,
read the instructions and get all of that in there to make sure the vote is actually a valid ballot and can be counted later.
right.
Okay.
Jeannie, you have any trouble getting polling workers?
No, in fact, we have a list. People have been really good about volunteering. And in fact, yesterday we had a couple that asked if we ever had people that called in that needed a ride. And I said, no, we really haven't. They said they would offer their services. If somebody did call in, they left their name and number and said, if somebody did call in and say, you know, I don't have a way to get there, they volunteered their services to pick them up. We also told them that they might contact Neighbor to Neighbor or the transportation, Abilene Transportation, and let them know that they would be glad to do that. So,
That's mine.
yes.
Okay, under notices and communications, didn't have anything in the mail. Did anybody else have anything come up or show up?
Nothing on the computer, right?
So I did get a little bit ahead because it wasn't an add-on. We should have had the proclamation at this time, but we do not have any other business to consider except for that proclamation. So I'll go ahead and read that. It's a proclamation supporting Operation Green Light for veterans, whereas the residents of Dixon County have great respect, admiration, and the utmost gratitude for all men and women who have selflessly served our country and this community in the armed forces. And whereas the contributions and sacrifices of the men and women who served in the armed forces have been vital in maintaining the freedoms and the way of life enjoyed by our citizens. And whereas Dixon County seeks to honor these individuals who have paid the high price for freedom by placing themselves in harm's way for the good of all. And whereas veterans continue to serve our community in the American Legion, veterans of foreign wars, religious groups, civil service, and by functioning as county veteran service officers in 29 states to help fellow former service members access more than $52 billion in federal health, disability, and compensation benefits each year. And whereas approximately 200,000 service members transition to civilian communities annually, and whereas an estimated 20% of the service members will transition to civilian life in the near future, and whereas studies indicate that 44 to 72% of service members experience high levels of stress during their transition from military to civilian life, whereas active military service members transitioning from military service are at a high risk for suicide during the first year after military service, and whereas the National Association of Counties encourages all counties, parishes, and boroughs to recognize Operation Green Light for veterans. And whereas the Dixon County appreciates the sacrifices of our United States military personnel and believe specific recognition should be granted, therefore be it resolved that the designation as a green light for Veterans County, Dixon County, hereby declares the period of November 3rd through November 13th as a time to salute and honor the service and sacrifice of our men and women in uniform transitioning from active service. And be it further resolved that in observance of Green Light Operation, Dixon County will light the courthouse green in patriotic tradition to recognize the importance of honoring all those who made the immeasurable sacrifices to preserve our freedoms, and encourages all citizens to do so by displaying a green light in a window or on a porch of their place of business or residence. Be it proclaimed this third day, November 20, 2022. Had a word crossed out here, so I tried to put it back in there. Okay, is there a motion to proclaim, accept this proclamation?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
We have the motion and the second for the proclamation of supporting Operation Green Light for veterans. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We do not have any other business to consider. As I mentioned earlier, we are going on a road tour shortly after our meeting and after we've had a quick lunch, and that'll be for the early part of this afternoon. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll second it.
We have the motion and second to adjourn. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.